Okay, welcome to our first class, first live class at least, of Create Your Website with HTML and CSS, hosted by OrangeNote. So I'm really excited to meet all of you guys again. It's really good to see all of your faces on Zoom. And yeah, let's get it started right away. Hi, my name is David Lim. I am 18 years old and I'm an incoming sophomore in college. Right now I'm studying computer science at UC Berkeley, and I put a little picture on the side. If you guys, that's like how UC Berkeley looks like. And then one interesting fact about UC Berkeley is that the movie Monsters University, if you guys ever watched it, is heavily inspired by UC Berkeley campus. So you see how like the gates look kind of similar. And then one interesting fact, I share the same birthday as Harry Potter. My birthday is on July 31st, so it's coming up soon. So I'm going to be turning 19, but that's just one interesting thing. And then lastly, I'm teaching this course, or I decided to teach this course over summer because I wanted to share my knowledge and skills with you guys and really like grow you guys as programmers in the workforce later on. So I'm just hoping that you guys will find this course really interesting and you guys will have a lot of fun learning. So yeah, that's about me. Now I'll just quickly go over what this course is gonna be about. So you guys all joined this for summer coding camp, and we'll be learning how to code in HTML and CSS. So it's okay if you guys don't know what these two things are. I certainly did not know until like 2 years ago or more. And so we're gonna be learning how to build a website, right? But behind making a website, there's three big components. There could be more, but these are like the three big ones when we build a website. So first is HTML, and then CSS, and then JavaScript. So how I would like seeing it is basically HTML gives a structure of how the website works. And then CSS puts like clothes on that structure, like making it all pretty. And then JavaScript is basically all the functions. So when we click a button, you know how sometimes we go to like a different website or like does different things, and that's mainly based on JavaScript. And in this course, we'll be mainly covering HTML and CSS, which is mainly just the designing part. Okay, and this is like an example, Instagram. Have you guys all used Instagram before? Yes? No? Oh, okay. It's okay if you don't, if you haven't. But basically, this is one of like the apps or one of the websites that you can use. And you see how on here, there's like different, like there's a profile pic, there's a profile picture right here, and then there's the name Verge, and there's like descriptions and there's like different pictures, right? So HTML would tell like, oh, like on this, like right here, it's gonna be fonts, like this is gonna be a heading of the name, and then this is gonna be the description, like what font it is and the images. And CSS basically makes it all pretty. So basically, like for example, like the blue check mark, it became blue because of CSS, or all these different hashtags that are like slightly different color are because of CSS. And then JavaScript would help it so that when you click on one of the posts or like when you click on one of the videos, then it opens it up, and like either you can look at the picture or you can like double click by liking a picture. Or you can like play a video, and which is all based on JavaScript. So does that all make sense to everyone? Sounds good. That okay. Yeah, so that's the general like premise of what we're gonna be learning throughout this course. And yeah, so quick syllabus. We'll go over the syllabus really quick. So during this class, we'll be learning through these four big methods. So we'll first go with pre-recorded videos, and then we'll be doing homework assignments and then quizzes, and then we'll also be doing live Zoom sessions. And yeah, so let's go over this. So actually, I'm gonna be Sharing screen for our syllabus. Okay. Was everyone able to read through the syllabus at all? Any thumbs ups if you have? Everyone, yes. Okay, yeah. So quickly, I'm just gonna go over what the syllabus is gonna be. So, hi, welcome to OrangeNote's first ever project-based coding camp on web development from July 9th to August 5th. We're gonna be learning HTML, CSS, and GitHub. And so basically how our class will work is that first we'll have pre-recorded lesson videos on Google Classroom. So if I go to Google Classroom, and then if I scroll down to lesson 1, which is what you guys are doing right now, and you'll see like these videos that are listed with the lesson, and then you're supposed to be watching these before the class starts. If you haven't, it's okay. It's just the first class, but I think most of you guys did. And so these are just like quick videos on like what the class is gonna be, like what I'm gonna be teaching. So if it's okay if like not everything makes sense in the video, we'll go over them in class. But please do make sure to watch these if you can. And then next is homework assignments. So I actually gave out one homework already. Sorry. Which is also on Google Classroom. This is this one, homework for lesson 1, and I'll just name it homework for lesson 1 each time that I post it. And then these are going to be assigned pretty much right after the lesson or a couple days after our live class. So you'll be expected to finish this one day before our live class. So the midnight before. And it's okay if you weren't able to finish the night before, but if you weren't, you can still submit it late, but you won't get full credit for the homework. And if you're stuck, don't worry, I'll be hosting office hours, or if you want to talk, you can talk to your parents to set up a one-on-one meeting with me. I'll be more than glad to help. And try to start your homework as early as possible. Try not to procrastinate to the last minute. And yeah, the next part is quizzes. So it's gonna be either during class or like before class that I'll be giving out quizzes, making sure that you guys understand the topics that I'm talking about. And yeah, these are, if I do assign them on Google Classroom, I haven't assigned anything yet, but these are gonna be based on your effort, not how good you are or how like perfect you are. So you can try as many times as possible. And lastly, the live Zoom sessions. So this is basically the live Zoom session, right? So we'll be holding 8 live Zoom sessions, and then yeah, we'll just be learning. I'll try to make it as interactive as possible, giving you guys questions or you guys discussing. And yeah, these are all of the syllabus for now. Does anyone have questions so far? No questions? Okay, sounds good. All right, and then let me see. All right, and then we'll cover the general schedule. I'm pretty sure you guys already seen this, but so this is the general schedule. So today, this is Friday. We're just gonna be going over like all the orientation things. And next week, we're gonna be covering HTML. Wednesday, we'll be covering more HTML, CSS, GitHub, and then wrapping up, and then final project showcase. Okay. And so, let me see. I'm gonna be showing you guys an example. Sorry. So let me see. This is VS Code. And I'm just gonna be quickly sharing on like what you're expected to make by the end of the class. So I showed this on the video as well, but I just wanted to confirm if you guys all saw it. So this is like an example of what you will make by the end of the class. So it says, hello, my name is David Lim. You can call me Mr. Lim. And on this webpage, I'm going to be talking about my favorite Disney movies. So these are all the Disney movies, or not all of them, but just two of them that I like. And yeah, so you see, if you look through these websites, actually, let's do this by question. So when you look through these websites, what are the different features that you guys see? Let's do popcorn style again. So let's start with Joanna. What's like one thing that you notice?
The heading is bigger than the rest of the text.
Oh, okay. So the heading, yes, you see how like this text is much bolder and much bigger than these. So this is because I use different HTML tag. We'll cover that later. But yeah, so really good, Joanna. You different sizes and different like boldness. Do you want to call somebody else?
How about Hannah?
I can't get it. I'm sorry.
I can get it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. What do you see on here? Anything that you notice? Colors, like pictures? Do you notice any?
I see the text of style
Mm-hmm.
and the Olaf.
Oh yeah, good job. Okay, so yeah, one big thing. There's a little GIF of Olaf. So this is also done through just HTML. But the sizing is done through CSS. Okay, good job. Do you want to call on somebody else, Hannah?
How about Annabelle?
I noticed on the very bottom there's want to learn more, click here.
Oh, good job. Okay, so yeah, really interesting. So there's want to learn more, and then click here. And this is actually a button that would, if you click it, it'll take you to a different website. Looks like it's not really working well right now. But yeah, so this is a button. Good job. That's also through HTML and stuff. Do you want to call on somebody else?
Abby.
I see like it gives a list of things, like the soundtrack, like songs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so good point. So this is another feature. It's called an unordered list on HTML that you can make like bullet points. Okay, do you wanna call on somebody else, Abby?
Grace.
The page has different colors.
Oh yes, that's one big one. So it has this gray color, this blue color, white color, and this light gray color. Okay. And then Paul, do you notice anything else? Lastly.
I think everyone already said everything I needed to say. Maybe it's the font size and the font colors and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So all these fonts are different colors as well, which is done through CSS. Yeah, so you see how there's so many like different features. It looks very simple, but there's different things that are in this website. And so um like you'll be kind of putting like coding all of these individual components, not all at the same time, but like step by step and building it up at the end. So yeah. um let's see. So yeah, these are the list of things that what we just talked about is going to be on your final website. I know a lot of these are not going to make sense, but these will eventually make sense when we get through the lecture content. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so far, does anyone have questions either on what we just talked? So what is HTML and how to create your own website? Oh, and sorry, some of you guys might have seen this before. Please bear with me throughout this if you guys already seen it for others. So yeah. So HTML. Actually, Paul, do you remember what it stands for?
Yes, I think it was called hypertext. Hypertext. I forgot what the M language or.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. So yeah, so just like Paul had said, or Mino, yeah, hypertext markup language. And so this is a lot of big words that are getting thrown up right now. So we'll be breaking down each term. And so first, hypertext means linking different web pages together. So you know how on your website, it's not just one website usually, right? When you go on like Facebook or YouTube, let's say, when you go on YouTube, when you click on the video, it takes you to another like YouTube video page, right? So it just means they're linking different web pages together. And markup. So actually, fun HTML is not a programming language. So what programming language is it's a little bit different from what HTML is, but HTML basically is not a programming language because it's purely made to just display things on the website. And so it's just marking different text to display different things. And we'll go over like all these different tags you guys see on the side. And then lastly, it is a language. So it's a type of language that we use to communicate with computers. So pretty much everything in coding, like the fundamentals of coding, is that by learning to use different coding languages, we're trying to like communicate with the computer, telling them what to do, and then them understanding us and then displaying it to us. So we have this little input to our computer and an output. And so why HTML? Well, HTML is used to create so many different websites. Like Abby, what's like one of the websites that you use a lot?
TF Wiki.
Sorry, what was that?
TF Wiki. It's a Transformers website.
Oh, TF, okay, that's fun. How about Grace? What's one website that you use? Grace? No worries, no worries if you can't think of anything.
Hangouts?
Oh, Hangouts, that's a good one too. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, all these different websites that you guys see on the internet are all based on HTML. And then I would like to compare HTML to a skeleton. So like you guys seen, let's do a different picture of skeleton. Okay, this picture is much better. So HTML is like a skeleton in a sense that it's a structure. So you know how skeletons give us like it's bones in our system, right? And it gives us a structure of like, oh, like where the arms are gonna be, where the legs are gonna be, like where the lung, like the rib cage is gonna be. So it's basically giving us a general structure on how the website will be displayed. So all the fonts, all the text, all the, like buttons, like where they need to be and what needs to be on the website. And I would like to compare HTML as a construction site. Have you guys ever been to a construction site before? Yes. Or have you guys seen it? I'm pretty sure, yeah. So we've seen construction sites before, right? And basically, it doesn't look pretty when it first is built. It looks ugly, actually, if you see this right here. But it's vital. It's really important for building like big buildings because these serve as foundations for what it's gonna come later, right? So you can kind of see this as like a real life HTML. So all these different supports, all these different walls that are bare are all just foundation and the basis of what we're gonna build on upon it. And yeah, so we'll quickly go over how to use HTML and we'll learn the basics of HTML. And so some structure. So this looks really confusing at first, but this is a general structure of our HTML file. So first we have the doc type HTML. So this basically tells us what document what kind of document this whole file is going to be. So this indicates, oh, this is going to be an HTML file. So we have to have this in front of every single HTML file in order to code. And the next is an HTML page, which is called a root element. Basically, what this is talking about is what's going to be the start and what's going to be the end of our HTML page. And next is a head tag. So the head kind of tells us information about the web page, or you're adding extra information that we need on the file. So this is technically not really displayed on the web page, but it's just more for like information. Oh yeah, and you can kind of compare it to what like the skeleton is thinking. So skeleton is the HTML, right? And skeleton is thinking, oh, my name is David, and that's like an information about us. So like this is like kind of thinking in head, like, oh, what is it? Like, what is my name? Storing it. And the next inside of the head. So you see kind of how these two tags, it starts with head and it ends with like a slash head, and in between it has a title. So that means that the title goes inside the head tags. And basically what the title tag is telling us is that the title of our web page. So if you guys ever go on the internet, you'll see like on top of it, like on the tab, like Google, when we go on Google, right? So this is just the text that it's telling what the website is. And next is the body. So body of a skeleton, you can compare it to a body skeleton. And this is what actually goes in our web page. So all the text, buttons, like images, everything. And most of our like actual coding actually is gonna be between these body tags. And then you'll see, yeah, the web page content here. And then I'll show you a quick demo. And this is going to be a little bit of a demo on VS Code. Don't worry if you haven't had the chance to download VS Code yet. We'll just go over it together. So when we, sorry, let me change the screen. Okay. Could you guys all see the VS Code? Yes. Okay. That's good. So when you first open it up, we have this welcome page, like Visual Studio Code editing evolved, and it tells us like a bunch of things. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a new file. Okay. And I think if so, when we start a new file, it actually does like select a new language to get started. Start typing to dismiss or don't show this again. So there's like this really convenient feature that if we click this, then we search up HTML, it'll just do it for us. But, oh yeah, so there it is. So we're basically telling the computer that this is gonna be an HTML file. But in order to start an HTML file, we have to do something, if you guys remember. Any of you guys remember what we had to start with? And then the hint is like
The doc type.
Doc type.
yes. So it's gonna start with doc type. So Annabelle, could you tell us what to type here? Do this one? Oh, did we lose her? Okay, no worries. Oh, okay. So yeah, like you guys said, it's gonna start with doc type, and you can follow along while I'm doing this too if you want on your own VS Code. And so this is declaring doc type HTML. And you notice that once we start, oh, it's okay if you can't open up VS Code right now. Don't worry, I'm just like showing it for now. And if you can follow, you can, but if you don't want to, it's okay either. So okay, we're gonna start. And you see when we type, there's like different colors, right? So VS Code basically is a code editing app, and it makes it easy for you guys to code. So it helps you with these different colors to like kind of tell you like what kind of code this is. So this is just blue because doc type codes are usually blue on their VS Code. And then, so we're gonna declare the start and the end of our HTML document. Does anyone remember
Head.
what we have to put
No,
next?
it's HTML. It's HTML.
Oh, good job. Yeah. So we're gonna put HTML. So we're gonna do everything starts with a bracket. So these are the two brackets. So all the HTML codes are gonna be between these two. So we're gonna type open bracket and then we're gonna do HTML and then close bracket. And you guys notice how when we type it, like this little thing comes out like right after I complete the tag. So basically how HTML works is that for a lot of different things, we need a tag, but we also need a tag to end the tag. So the start tag is just gonna be the name and the brackets, and the end tag is gonna be brackets with like a little backward slash right here. Does everyone see that? Yes. Okay. And so I would like to put some information about this website. So Joanna, what do we have to do next?
The head, I'm not sure. Or the,
Yes, good
yeah.
job. Yeah, the head. And then we're gonna type a bracket head and then close bracket, and then another end tag has been created for us, and that's because of VS Code. VS Code is very helpful. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a title of our web page. Grace, did you have a question or did you want to answer? Oh, okay, sounds good. Okay, Annabelle, do you know what tag should we put in order to have a title? And a little bit of hint over here. Can you hear me okay?
You're kind of glitching, but yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So what tag should we put right here in order to have a title?
Put the right title.
Yeah, so title tag. Good job. So we're gonna do open bracket, title, close bracket. All right, so we have the general like kind of like structure so far. What's one more structure that we should have other than the head? Hannah, do you remember what goes here now that we have head, and then what goes after that one? Right here, a little bit of hint. And then we're gonna put it right here. Okay, no worries, it's okay. Grace, did you want to answer it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the body. Okay, so yeah, the body tag is gonna be right here. All right, so the general structure is finished. And then so we can just put anything inside of this. Okay, Minho, do you have like a title idea? What should we title this webpage? Just anything is okay.
It could be a blog website. My blog.
Okay, blog website. Okay, my blog. That's okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay, and then we'll save it. So I'm gonna go to File and then Save. And then I'm gonna put it on the desktop. And let's see. I can name this. Usually people name the index, the HTML file index. So we're gonna be naming index HTML. And if you see, I just saved it on VS Code. Could you guys see my laptop screen? Yes. Okay. And then so you see how index is right here, but when you open it, it's coming out as like a raw just coding file, right? But we want it to be a website. And so this is mainly because we haven't actually declared this file as HTML file. Like, so we declared it inside VS Code, but we haven't declared it like inside of the computer. At least for Mac, this happens. And so we're gonna rename this file. Sorry, we're gonna rename this file as index.html so that the computer knows that this is gonna be an HTML file. And now when we open it, then we'll see our website. What changed about this website ever since? So it looks blank, but what's like the one thing that we put that is not blank? Joanna.
The .html. I'm not sure. Sorry.
Good try.
Okay.
Nice try. Nice try. A little bit of hint, I guess. So we just put like a title, right? So where does that title appear? Okay, Grace.
In the way top, where the tab is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you see how like at the top it says my blog. So that's all we did for now. So like you see like when we like a Google Drive, then we see like, oh, my drive, or like when we go on slides, it says like, oh, HTML demo teaching, Google Slides. So just like that, we just put a title to our web page. So that's all we did so far. All right, and on the body, and this is not really gonna make a lot of sense yet, but I'm gonna put a new type of font. So I'm gonna do a heading tag. So I'm gonna be teaching this, but heading tag is basically like a big like title font. And so it's gonna be a little bit bolder and then a little bit bigger. Let me just, because we just changed. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Okay, so in this tag in H1, I'm gonna put a title. Annabelle, do you have any suggestions on what we should have as our title? We can type anything.
I'm not really sure.
No worries. Abby, do you have any ideas? Or like just anything is fine. Like it can be like, oh, my name. I can just name it. This is my blog page. Gonna put that. It's just a little text. And so what do you think is gonna happen when we launch the new website? When we put this here? Any guesses? Anyone?
Those words are going to show
Okay,
up.
Annabelle. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Good job, Abby. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, when we put this, the words are gonna show up. So let's just test it out. And then we're gonna close the tab and then we're gonna open our new file. Oh, it didn't show. Why is that? Let me just reopen this file really quick. HTML. I think when we renamed the file, it made a new file. I think the old one. So let me just really quickly this. And then when we open it up, it's gonna look like this. All right, there it is. And also, it's not necessarily like we don't always have to have tags. So you'll notice if I just type something here, let's say Joanna, Abby, Grace, Annabelle, Hannah, and Paul, if I type something like this, so even though it doesn't have any tags, it should still appear as text. So when we just text on the body tags, it just and it doesn't have like any like tags associated around it. That it just thinks that, oh, it's just gonna be like a text that's gonna go under it. So you see, this text isn't like big or bold or anything. It's just like a basic text. And so it will still register, but this is not necessarily a good practice all the time. So different tags. So there's another tag, actually, there's like 6 different H tags. So I'm gonna do H2. And does anyone have any guesses on how H2 is gonna look like versus H1? This is kind of hard, so it doesn't, you know, I don't expect you to like get 100% right, but Paul, do you have any guesses?
It's probably gonna look different. The font or the size of the text would be different,
Quick.
or the text could be
Mhm.
in a different place or something.
Okay. Um, so you mentioned sizes. You're correct when it comes to sizes. Do you think you'll get smaller or bigger with H2?
Here's my guess. It might get larger.
Okay, sounds good. Let's test it out. So I'm gonna save this file again. And then I'm gonna refresh the page that we were on. And so if we just double click on the file, it usually launches it on Google Chrome. So, and then we can just refresh in order to like make an updated version. So, oh, can you guys kind of see it? It got bigger than what it was before, but it's a little bit smaller than the H1 tag, right? So basically how the H1, H2, H3 works is that H1 is like the biggest heading tag, and then everything after that is going to be smaller and smaller as the numbers go on. So I'm going to just quickly show this through you guys' names. So I'm just going to copy paste all the different H1, H2, H3 tags. So these are heading tags. Then I'm going to switch to H3, H4, H5, H6. And there's until 6. And you guys can test this out on yours too. So if we refresh, then you see that this is the biggest H1, H2, H3, H4. So these are different types of headings that you can put on your website. So yeah, does anyone have questions? Any like questions about what we did? Anything confusing? Anything like you want to learn? Okay, sounds good. Did anyone actually like follow along by any chance on their VS Code?
Yes, I've been following everything. Could you, for Hannah, since I don't think she might understand most of it, could you like re-explain this thing to like Hannah so like she might be able to follow along since I'm like typing everything in right now?
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so let's just go over like everything just one last time. So let me see. Thank you for the suggestion. So I think Hannah, you had some network issues in the beginning, right? So let me just quickly go over. So yeah, so just to reiterate everything, so doc type is how we start an HTML file. So every single time we want to start coding, we're gonna start with typing this one out, doc type. And it just means like we're gonna be using HTML. And after that, we're gonna be typing HTML, just like, oh, this is the start of our web page and the end of web page. So these are gonna be the HTML tags. And then information about the website. So whether title or different things that we're gonna put more, but mainly just the title for now. And so inside the head is the title of our web page. And we can see on the tab of Google Chrome. And then next is the body where most of the website things are gonna be going under. So web page content goes here and text. And it's okay if these don't really make sense for now, but this is just like a bunch of like the and then yeah, and then through VS Code, we click to right click open. This might be a little bit different on Windows. We can see that the web page, it says my blog on top and then a bunch of just different names down the line with different kind of text. Okay. And yeah, so that will be the end of my HTML, really little introduction of HTML. Okay. And then, so I'm gonna be posting the second lecture videos. I think within this weekend. You're not expected to like watch it during the weekend, obviously. But I'm gonna be posting different videos, and then if you guys can watch it on before the next section, which is gonna be next Friday,